Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Zelda 1 2020 Random Percent Randomizer Tournament. We have a winners round 3 matchup between Darkfalz and Antlerz 44. I am Alsoa, and I am joined by Scytown.
Good evening, Alsoa. So I'm already seeing that Dark Falls wants me to commentate or curse the heck out of him today. That's a nice fight.
Well, how would you like to do that so I can commentate or curse Antlerz?
We'll work on it real quick as we go. But it both these guys 4-0 in the tournament right now is Antlers 44. 2-0 is Dark Falls. He had a bye in the first round. So somebody tonight's taking their first loss.
Okay, so based on that, I expect that level 6, which is the total combined wins of both of the runners, will be shapes. It will be 40 rooms, and it will have a required bow in it for a required double dip of 9.
I am so game for that.
So our runners tonight are going to be starting with the sword, the Triforce out of level 7 or 8, depending on if this is first or second quest back half, and the pile of wood.
I would imagine that the first thing they'll do is take a peek at the starting spot, vanilla start, and see if they can't get a sword out of it.
Well, they did
Sorry,
start,
I meant a candle.
but no extra candles for them today. They are going to have to buy their candle or find a red candle, as Antlerz finds level 4. You know, starting with the sword is kind of nice, just from the standpoint of you don't have to go look for combat, you can just go combat. Darkfalz is going to check our raft spot and find... We have no sword upgrades for this seed. Lovely.
That's always a good time. So Woody it is, and they better hope for a one-hit Ganon.
You know, I'd almost be more hoping for low HP blue Wizrobes and blue Darknuts than I would be a low HP. It also looks like we have permanent sword beams and definitely not 0 HP enemies or bosses. Antlerz will be the first runner to get bombs at 2 minutes in.
They've got a bomb shop close to start too, which should be helpful if they run themselves out of resources like I tend to do.
And with the shop prices being vanilla, the bombs will be relatively affordable. We don't know yet if this is a first quest 4, but early signs tend to indicate that it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely gives that feeling.
If Antlerz goes to the right here, and there is an eye in the dungeon, then we'll know it's first quest 4 for certain, but just based on what I can see already, there's a very good chance this is first quest 4, which is good for the runner's sake. You're gonna need a book to understand the old men. Interesting. Well, the map will confirm it for certain. So, there's some good things and some potentially bad things about first quest shapes for the front half. The good things about it is the dungeons are overall going to be a little bit smaller. Keys will be more abundant, especially in levels 5 and I want to say 2. And you will know the shapes of the dungeon right off.
Yep, and definitely looks like they find 5 or something, they'll get plenty of keys. Definitely looks like vanilla drop rooms too. That's a heart in the heart container room.
That's a ladder in 4.
Starting to sniff vanilla.
As am I, which... that makes level 1 a very interesting place to go. And here's why. Level 1 has the bow in it, so they're going to want to get that. It has the boomerang in it, which they may or may not want to get, probably not. But the big thing about level 1 is level 1 has 6 locked doors in it. So depending on where the key rooms spawn, it can be relatively easy to get ladder blocked out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Darkfalz has not been to the ladder room yet. That was a little bit further south in the dungeon. He will come across it in a couple of rooms. Antlerz getting the compass is now going to up A. And the fires do go down to a bomb. That will be important as far as our bomb dropper logic is concerned. Now, while the early indication is that we have vanilla items, we are not guaranteed that by any means just yet. We've only seen 2 items out of a dungeon. One was a heart, one was a ladder. To me, it would be a little premature to call it vanilla items, but there is a strong inclination towards it at the moment just from seeing the item in its vanilla location.
Yeah, I totally agree. You don't want to make it, especially if you're running, you don't want to make that assumption. You might end up with silvers in a level 5 or something. You don't want to take a chance at that happening to you.
Or worse, you get the seed that has 7 floor hearts and 1 floor item.
Definitely have had that before and made the wrong assumption.
So, both runners are going to get their Triforce out of 4. Antlerz comes out of level 4 a little bit better on resources. He has more keys, more bombs, more rubies. But Darkfalz' level 4 was a little bit quicker because he is able to, or because he did not go in as many rooms as Antlerz did.
Yeah, that's a good point. They still pretty much just neck and neck at this stage.
Antlerz will find level 3.
Yeah, we can't make any assumption on 7 through 9 yet. We know 1 through 6 is going to be first quest, but 7 through 9 we're going to have to wait until we find one of the dungeons to know if we have 7 or 8's Triforce to start.
However, the other side of that coin is if this is vanilla items, 7 through 9 will be first quest, because if you have a mixed quest with the vanilla dungeon items, you end up with the wand in 2 dungeons and no book.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Antlerz being in 3 means that he's probably just going to grab the Triforce and go here and make the assumption it's vanilla items, go to another dungeon where he could get a good item and then dig that one and see if it confirms.
Dark will come across the Triforce here in level 3. He'll probably just leave it too. Dark did get some bombs, so now he has a better bomb count. Neither runner has a candle yet, but seeing as they've been in dungeons for a good bit of this seed, it's not too surprising. We have ±2 at least enemy HP.
Yeah, that's always nasty to be seeing.
There's a Coast Heart.
I haven't quite caught on if item drops are normal. Like hearts and bombs. I haven't really noticed that yet.
Based on what I've seen in this level 3 and 4, it looks like all the vanilla drops are going to be in their drop rooms. And we just saw a boomstick shop. Or rather a shop.
Which makes 6's item a little more important if it's really vanilla.
Antlerz buying the hint without the book, so he's just going to pay 15 rupees to be told to go read a book.
Yep. I think we've all done that a couple times too.
So would you say that's an overdue library fee?
it's about as cheap as an overdue library. So yeah.
And now he has no money. Interesting that neither runner has made a play for the Armos item yet. My guess is they're gambling it's vanilla power bracelet.
Yep. Yeah, you kind of got to wonder, do you have a mixed quest overworld at all? You're talking about plenty of power bracelet spots throughout.
That is true. We do not know what quest our overworld is. We know it's at least first or mixed.
Correct, because we saw 3.
And it is going to be a pure first quest overworld, and level 1 is at level 2.
Daggum. Nice find.
Level 1 will have the bow for them, but again, it does have those 6 locked doors, so Antlerz may want to watch his key count a little bit in here. And Darkfalz can... I'm sorry?
Nope, you go right ahead. Sorry about that one. I hit my button on accident.
So, Darkfalz is going to cash in both of his raft spots. Turns out the raft he started with, not required. And as we saw from the gels dropping items and the Stalfos dropping a bomb randomly, we do have shuffled drop groups. There is the D for Antlerz. So at this point, if you know that it's going to be vanilla dungeon items, and you know that you have Raft, you know where Power Bracelet is, you know where Recorder is, do you even bother checking for items in dungeons anymore? Or do you just gamble that, one, it is truly the thing. Secondly, that silvers are just going to show up at 9, and third, that you don't need Recorder to get into 9 to begin with.
I tend to get into gamble mode pretty quick. I just assume it's going to be vanilla. And I'm not going to dig an item in 2, won't dig an item in 3. Seeing that it's first quest overworld, I wouldn't dig 5. Well, I still would dig 5 because the Recorder might take you to an unbeaten dungeon. But for the most part, I'm skipping a lot of stuff.
That is a good point. The Recorder could be valuable just from that standpoint alone. Assuming they don't find 5 as their last dungeon, in which case, well...
Yeah, exactly. You find 5 late, you go, ah, crap. We're getting out of here.
That also means that a bomb upgrade will be available as the white sword item, which both runners can pick up if they find it, assuming they haven't already found it.
Yep, and so far it kind of looks like Dark is basically about a step and a half behind Antlerz with acquiring dungeons and all that good stuff. He's doing a good job of keeping up with them, though.
And I don't know if Antlerz... Well, Antlerz doesn't know that the raft spots are not required yet. Darkfalz did take the time to go check those, and I don't think Antlerz has yet seen that it's bomb upgrades and not sword upgrades.
Yep, another solid point there. We just kind of gonna watch, see how Dark navigates 1, see if he can't just get out of there pretty quick too with the bow.
And the question that the runners are probably both asking is, where is the money?
Yeah, they know it's a first quest overworld, so they're happy about that. They know they're gonna have 3 large secrets. But we don't know what that amount is. It could be 51, and then they're going to be frustrated.
The secret amounts are tied to the shop prices. So if you have vanilla shop prices, you'll have vanilla secret amounts. So it will be 100.
Oh, great point. Totally forgot about that.
Antlerz finds level 7. They do have the Triforce out of this dungeon. And with that boomerang on the floor in 1, to me, it's safe to say that we're going to have the vanilla dungeon items.
I agree. It's you've got to live with that assumption at this point. And if you're wrong, then you go back to the dungeons that you already find and you deal with it. But I think you just got to go with it at this point.
And given that they started with the Triforce out of level 7, I don't see any reason at all for them to go back into level 7.
Me neither.
Until suddenly we see a red ring in level 2.
Yeah, that would change the game.
So both runners are going to clear this northeast area out. So far, not a whole lot of value up here. Besides level 7, which has no value. You know, I bet you the runners are going to go to Death Mountain, and within like 3 bomb spots, they're going to find all 3 large secrets and just curse the seed.
Yeah, it kind of sometimes goes like that when you just start locating stuff that you could have used about 20 minutes earlier.
I think my favorite is when you're in was when you go through a string of blue wizards and then find the red ring at the end of it.
We had a battle royale Tuesday night, and I full cleared the overworld except for recorder spots, and the last spot I found was the white sword item, and it was the bow, which is the only thing I needed to get moving. So, you know how those days go.
Interesting play here from Darkfalz. It looks to me like he's going to dig out this red candle to get himself a candle, as Antlerz is going to go buy one off of the Vanilla 5 location.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
He needs to not kill these rooms though. If it's gonna be 7 and it's not a staircase room, he just needs to stay out.
This one is a stair, and it's going to be the red candle.
Perfect. That's solid. Sorry, I was talking about the room before. My stream is acting funky tonight, so I might be a room or 2 behind.
Well, also consider that Darkfalz may be looking for keys, and he may be saying, okay, well, I don't necessarily have all the rooms of 7 memorized, but I'm pretty sure there's a key drop in one of these rooms.
Yeah, I mean, on a seed where he's found no money, he now has the candle. So good job by him.
And the interesting thing is he has potentially a little bit better of a routing here than Antlerz does. By sheer virtue of he's already in the forest, he could choose to forego the waterfall for now and go do his forest checks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now he's basically in a position where he goes, I'm going to do the east side of the map once. And that's always a nice feeling.
That is the correct question to be asking. Dataplat asking in chat, who is going to get the magic shield out of level 8? Oh, and Darkfalz takes a bomb.
Yeah, the answer would be me. I would.
I'd get it if I'd maybe pick it up if it's on the way, but I'm not going out of my way for it. It's not that valuable. And I like this choice from Darkfalz here. He's going to come out of 7, get a health refill, and then go back out. Antlerz is now digging the dead woods. Finds level 6.
All right. Bomb or wand time. And considering that he's not going to get an upgrade on his sword, the wand could be even more important. Clearing rooms fast.
And that will be a question, is if you find an early Triforce in 6, is it worth it to you to go dig the wand out? Knowing this will be Wizrobes, as confirmed right there. Antlerz opting to skip the heart container.
Yeah, there are a ton of rooms in 6, so I guess if somebody said, nah, I'm not gonna do it, I wouldn't blame them. But again, I wouldn't clear any of these rooms except if it was a staircase room. I would just stay out of it, and because it's a vanilla Triforce drop, so you know where the Triforce is as soon as you walk in the room. Yep, just stay in the staircase rooms and go.
And I think the thing that makes it very interesting is, depending on what rooms are where, that will also decide if you want to dig for the wand. So, for example, this room will be fine in terms of the bubble will keep the enemies from respawning once you kill them all. No big deal. Darkfalz takes the death going into the top of the waterfall. And he is going to up A and go use his newfound candle powers.
Makes sense.
This is a bit of a wizard heavy level 6. The other thing the runners may want to consider, as we've seen the shot now on both sides, and Darkfalz is going to take a retry to get his bombs back. A blue ring purchase may not be terrible, especially in Darkfalz's case, because he doesn't have to buy that candle. If he can avoid buying arrows, there's enough money on the overworld that he could technically buy both the book and the blue ring without much issue.
Yes, that's solid. Antlerz keeps skipping that room with the orange whiz robes. And that could technically be a second quest room they're on. That could be a drop, or that could be a staircase room.
So due to the first quest layouts, there will be no second quest rooms. And on top of that, because of the vanilla dungeon drops, that will be a heart container.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't realize that first quest overworld and levels meant that you can't have second quest rooms in them.
Only the first quest dungeons mean that, because the second quest rooms physically will not spawn. That option will be in effect if there's any sort of shapes with second quest rooms on or second quest dungeons. Then those second quest rooms can go into first quest, as we find level 9 on Darkfalz's side.
Good to know that.
Antlerz is able to make it through the room, only to be, potentially Goma blocked. This is the type of room that you don't want to see. A lot of wish robes and no bubbles.
Yes.
You know, there's no good way to get around all these wizard rooms that Antlerz has had to go through as he takes another death. Darkfalz now up to 97 rupees, has a better key count, but has not been in level 6 yet.
Yeah, we'll see what he does next. Maybe he'll venture into Death Mountain early. He only has 2 bombs, though.
He might do these 2 spots, wrap over to the grave area. Ooh, he's gonna buy some bombs here. He might be thinking about Death Mountain. He's gonna buy wooden arrows.
Yeah, that's a great one.
You know, I like the play given he doesn't have to buy the candle and he already has the bow. And if there's any pulse voice rooms, he will be able to clear those much faster than Antlerz will currently.
Yeah, everything seems to be leveling up or going up in HP, so I wouldn't blame him.
Plus HP enemies in a no sword upgrade seed. That seems to happen a lot.
Yeah, and this 6 is so nasty. If I were Antlerz, I might even think about, you know what? I'm going to make sure I at least get to that one room and clear it, the potential staircase room. Other than that, I might not dig too much longer because you just don't have a lot going for you right now with a few hearts and cruddy weaponry. But I guess you're going to have that no matter if you're doing it now or in the future.
Well, the one thing that Antlerz could go out and get that would help him out is he could go out and get some potions. He could come back with a blue ring. He could come back with some more bombs. Those are the kind of things that, if you know you don't have sword upgrades, that's the kind of stuff that at least I'd be thinking about. Okay, if this dungeon's going to take forever, either just tunnel vision it and just knock it out right now, don't care, or come back with some bombs and some potions.
Yeah, you get in that mode, and to respond to a comment in chat, if Antlers is having trouble with combat, you know it's a nasty combat seed.
One thing that I have noticed about this flag set is it actually sometimes will force you into more low percent than you normally would do.
Yeah, I think that you kind of get into that like aggressive mode of trying to get everything fast and worrying about your opponent.
And the other side of the coin is because the enemy groups are not shuffled, level 9 is going to be full of wish ropes. So how much do you want to bet the blue wish rope is the bomb dropper?
That would be lovely.
So Antlerz has decided he is going to just put his head down and try to barrel through. We'll see what Darkfalz decides to do. Antlerz is going to leave that one potential stair room and find more wish robes.
I'm gonna leave that Wizrobe room so I can find another Wizrobe room.
But at least this one has a bubble.
the glass half full right here.
See, oh, and then there's a shoot room. So the Goma is required to go past that stair if it's not a transport. That's huge for Darkfalz, because Darkfalz already has the arrows.
That's really good observation.
Like, your options are clear a wizard room or go buy arrows. What do you do? What do you do?
I'm gonna go farm some money. I'm gonna go buy some arrows, and I'm just gonna shoot that stupid thing in the eye.
I like the way you think. You know, it's a little bit tough to see how much health Darkfalz has because he is opted to go for the white life meter. Looks like Darkfalz is going to opt for the extra heart container here.
He did find a note, I believe, so maybe he's just thinking I might buy potion. I'm keep building up my hearts right now.
And when you see that this level 6 is like this, every heart can matter.
Yeah, it can be rough if you're not doing that.
Although one thing that could help the runners out in a couple of these rooms is doing the spawn manipulation. As Antlerz gets down that last Wizrobe, he only has likes left. In some of these rooms, if the primary enemy is the like,
yeah, that'd be the easiest one to beat. Going back to your observation earlier on the heart room, Darkfalz does clear that room. He does get a heart. Maybe Antlerz will want to do that if he hasn't already.
Well, Antlerz just got the Triforce out of level 6 from clearing that Wizrobe room, so...
Yeah, I wonder how long it'll take Dark to get through here. It was quite a feat for Antlerz here at this early stage.
I'm curious as to if there will be a bomb wall from the room north of the Goma. That, if there is, Darkfalz' exploration of 6 will be tremendously sped up. And I like this play here. Reset the room state, get some health back, come back in with a little more resources. Antlerz has now found level 9. And here's my opinion of it. The bubbles are actually what's the 6's saving grace, because the rooms like this room will not respawn after they've been cleared due to that bubble.
Yeah, the one thing they have to be careful about in these situations is if you do clear that room and say you die in the next room and you go back to the front or to the start, do not exit out of the stinking dungeon or else you're back up the creek.
Yep. And that's sometimes the trap that you can get into with some of these tougher dungeons, and maybe that's why Antlerz stuck it out so much, is he said, okay, I gotta clear this first room again. If I leave, I might as well stay until I get something out of here that I can go with.
Yeah, I've seen people get frustrated and they're like, I'm just leaving for a minute, I'll clear and come back. And it's like, no, you shouldn't have done that because now you're in trouble. Oh, the red candle is also going to be used coming into effect for Darkfalz with the likes. Good idea.
You'll notice the two Wizrobes near the bottom of the screen, they started to go into that infinite loop pattern. If the wizard, that's the beauty of an NSU room, is if you sometimes are patient, the Wizrobes will just soft lock themselves into the same pattern, and then you can just walk on through with some timing. I expect Stark will spend his key to go.
Yep, gotta figure.
Oh, in case you didn't know, even though we saw it on Antler's side, the blue Wizrobes will go in the doors. Darkfalz makes it through and probably breathes a sigh of relief as he sees a Goma. He just needs to get a good...
Yeah, if you're him walking around with just a couple hearts and dealing with this sort of thing, you're like, goodness, just let me out.
And you know, with how the 6 is laid out, I don't think either runner's actually going to opt for the wand here.
Yeah, you gotta figure it's just too much combat.
The amount of effort it would take. Is Dark going to try to clear this room? No, I think he's just resetting the Goma to get a better pattern. Gets the Goma down, is rewarded with a key. Both runners equal on keys, but Darkfalz does not have a bomb to check this wall. Oh, but he gets a pack on the ground as Antlerz finds level 8 up on Death Mountain. And look at that. Darkfalz able to get through it without clearing that extra Wizard room. His 6 will be much shorter, and that has helped to close the gap tremendously between the two of them.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Antlerz did buy the wooden arrows. So he now has those for this level 8. The interesting thing is, even though the runners are like following right behind each other, you might be tempted to say, okay, well, that's going to give whichever runner's in front, in this case, Antlerz being slightly ahead, an advantage. But level 9 still exists.
Yeah, level 9 will shut the door right in your face.
And then Ganon will start appearing and teleporting around the room.
Or you gotta bomb out of Ganon's room in order to find the silvers at all. That's always fun.
Antlerz walks into a Goma face first. He dies. Although, to be fair, if I saw a giant spider crab as soon as I walked into the room, I'd probably die of shock, too. Darkfalz is now in level 2.
Yeah, when you find a compass like that, you're like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so close to it. I'm gonna run. And whoops, hi, Goma.
Antlerz has picked up his Triforce out of level 8.
Yeah, I doubt we'll see him dig for an any key.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be worth it for him. If Wand was available in 6 more readily, he might consider doing that Blue Dark Nut single block room, but with just Wood Sword and potentially up to 10 hits per Blue Dark Nut, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree. The logic just doesn't work out there.
Darkfalz looks like he will get some keys out of this level 2. As Antlerz is on the hunt for level 3. And level 2 that he doesn't know. Not level 3, level 5, sorry. But the level that we haven't seen.
Yep. That's the only one we got left.
That was a key drop. Oh, wait, no. Okay, there's 2 of them. Never mind. This one should be the heart then. Forgot that with Shuffle Dungeon Room, sometimes it gets a little... Okay, game... Apparently level 2 was a swamp. And Triforce and 2 for Darkfalz. He's gonna pick that up and just go.
It's getting pretty exciting because 8 sort of leans you straight into that Triforce anyway, so it might be a short 8 for Dark as well. So then it's going to be, is Antlerz going to be able to find 2 swiftly?
Antlerz has found the bomb upgrade. He has picked up the bomb upgrade. He now can carry 10 bombs on his person. And level 5 on Death Mountain. So we now know where all of the levels are. I think as far as getting into 9 first, I think it will be Antlerz that gets into 9 first, depending on how Darkfalz routes the rest of the seed. Although, if Dark does East Death Mountain before West Death Mountain, that will benefit him greatly. Antlerz will see his Triforce in level 5. And Darkfalz is going to purchase... I think Darkfalz is going to purchase the Blue Ring here.
That's... I don't blame him.
And Antlerz is taking the approach of, I'm going to assume that the recorder does not block level 2, and I will come back to 5 if I am wrong.
Agreed.
So, depending on how Darkfalz routes this, he may actually be the first person into 9. Although he does have 2 dungeons he has to do compared to Antlerz's 1.
Yep, and if it goes the right direction, it'll be fast dungeons, but it needs to do it right.
Although it looks like Darkfalz is trying to farm some money or bombs to be able to go up to Death Mountain, which makes sense. As you kind of need bombs for there.
Yeah, you're not going to do too much damage that way without...
And Antlerz is done with Death Mountain. He's gonna find level 2 pretty quick here. He may do South Coast first, though. Gets a free heart container. Both runners up to 10. Darkfalz finds more hits.
Nice little vanilla take inning.
And Darkfalz gets the little money he does have taken away. Ooh, but that boomerang coming in huge, allowing him to pick that bomb up. But it looks like he's going to do South Coast before Death Mountain. And Antlerz will be finding level 2 in a couple of screens here. So that will put Antlerz in the position to get into 9 first.
It could be substantial with Dark still trying to get money or bombs or anything that he can to start shooting that direction. But he's not going to be able to do anything if he doesn't get that done. But obviously 9 can do 9 things. And
go ahead.
Who knows after that? Sorry.
And remember, going into 9, Darkfalz will have the advantage on defense.
Yep. And he'll have plenty of money now. So, um, yeah, he'll be all right. Question in chat: both runners have found 9. Right now, it's a game of Dark needs to get to Death Mountain to find 5 and 8. They're relatively short with directions right into the Triforce. Antlerz is heading in the right direction in 2, so he could have his Triforce really soon if he gets a bomb.
The big thing that's going to help Darkfalz is his blue ring. Will probably end up helping out in the initial parts of 9, unless it's one of those cases where red ring is just 2 rooms in, and then that kind of becomes a moot point. Although he is heading in the correct direction. He does not need a bomb to get into level 8. Crucially, he does not need a bomb to get into level 8. And he will get some money here. Antlerz is out of bombs. So he's going to have to go get some bombs before he can continue in 2. That's actually kind of interesting. That will give Darkfalz a little bit more time. Dark now has his money. He can buy his bombs, and he'll probably go to Death Mountain here because he doesn't have much left. Question is, will he do East or West Death Mountain first?
He's gonna have to go to both, right? I think 3s or 8s. 8's on the east side, 5's on the west.
Yes. He would benefit from doing East side first, just from sheer virtue of, if he does West side first, he'll probably do the entire west side and then last location where level 8 is. Although it looks like he's going back to the coast. Maybe taking this power bracelet, any road. Antlerz is back at his bomb shop. Antlerz now has the bombs he needs to get into level 2. But again, this race is not over, even though it looks like Antlerz does have a significant lead from having done 5 and 8 already. This is not over until somebody is rescued.
Yeah, I mean 9 can just hose you so bad. So anybody who's done a race knows that they've been in 9 way earlier than their opponent before and still lost.
Dark is going to do West Death Mountain first, which means he will probably end up with a last location level 8.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Although, because both runners did the full west side of Death Mountain, it's ultimately not going to make that much of a difference in terms of the pure time. It's just, it will make it a little bit harder for Darkfalz to catch up in 9, but not impossible. So Antlerz is going to be our first runner into 9. Sci-Town, would you like to explain what we're looking for in listening?
Sorry, my feed just broke up. What was that?
Oh, would you like to explain what we're listening and looking for in level 9? As Darkfalz is going to go do the whole south portion of level 5 before finding his Triforce.
So my apologies. I didn't mean to leave you hanging like that. But what we're looking for 2 things. We're looking for a shutter door that maybe doesn't open when you kill all the enemies in a room, because that means you know where Zelda's at. Or we're looking for, potentially, a room that you just walk into and then you say hi to the princess, because Ganon might not be required. But if Ganon's required, then we are listening for a big old roar from a pig. And if he is required, then you need to find the silvers that are in 9. So, a little bit of a this or that thing going on.
You know, Darkfalz picked up the recorder. The best thing that can happen for Darkfalz is a recorder block in 9 from a required dig dogger.
It's happened before. Maybe it will.
Or a meat block at 9.
Either would help him at least at the beginning.
Antler's gonna have to kill this Wizard room. And Darkfalz will eventually come across this Triforce by sheer virtue of he won't really have a whole lot of places left to go except to the room.
Yeah, that part's really unfortunate.
Antlerz gets the map. Darkfalz gets his Triforce out of level 5. Antler's gonna make his way through 9, and it looks like the whistle takes you to old dungeon locations and the beaten dungeons. Although this might put Darkfalz on the path of East Death Mountain.
Yeah, maybe it redirects him.
As Antlerz takes a death in level 9, we may now start to see the effects of the lack of defense. And Darkfalz will be able to go in with full health no matter what, because he can just whistle the 1 and get there.
Yeah, exactly right.
Antler's gonna take this transport stair. We are in a new part of the level. Darkfalz getting a potion. Good call on his part. And this may be a lot closer than we thought it was gonna be. The power of having full health going into night cannot be underestimated.
Yep, and hopefully Dark is able to make it a fun finish to this thing.
Darkfalz has found level 8. Antlerz has found another potential stair room with wizards. That's gonna be interesting. If silvers are required, how many of these wizard rooms will Antlerz remember to come back and check? I'm assuming he marks his
Yeah, I don't know how he does that or not. I'm a little bit insane when it comes to marking my map for 9, but it just depends on how meticulous you are with it.
Darkfalz is going to opt not to do that room. Not a bad play on his part. Antlerz takes another death in level 9. Ooh. Darkfalz out of bombs here. That could be bad. That could be bad news for him. Although he may just decide to buy bombs, whistle back to 1, and walk back up here real quick. It could potentially be faster than trying to think them out of 8.
Yeah, he's just gotta shoot straight down, yep.
There might also be a workaround to it. Is he gonna try to clear this room? He is gonna try to clear this room. Do we know what the bomb dropper is in the dark?
We don't. We haven't seen, or at least I have not spotted one yet what was actually dropping bombs.
I mean, for all we know, these blue darknuts are the bomb droppers, and Darkfalz gets some bombs out of this, and then he just... Darkfalz could also pull the Yeti key out of here. And if level 9 is having a key block.
Very true.
I'm not sure this is the best play to make, but I don't think it's necessarily the worst either.
No, I mean, if he ends up with a shield or something, that would stink. But
Yeah.
maybe it's a staircase and it gets him another direction to the Triforce.
Antlerz finds the red ring. Darkfalz finds the any key. So while the defense factor is no longer in Darkfalz's favor, the key factor definitely is. And if Zelda's heavily key blocked, Antlerz is definitely going to think twice about every key he spends. Whereas Dark can just run through doors like it's nothing.
Yep. It might be something that gets him to stop moving for a second, which is the worst thing you can do, is to start pausing and second guessing decisions. You just gotta run.
And the lack of bombs might also send Darkfalz on a different path than Antlerz took in this 9, which could be beneficial. Yes, the book could be helpful, but because we have the boomstick on, and both runners have already made their purchases, we may not see a book pickup, and this 8 is very combat heavy if you don't have the one bomb to get through that bomb wall.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Just one bomb would save about 4 or 5 minutes.
But Darkfalz does get a bomb, and the first thing he's going to do is try to bomb out of this room, and he can. And there is a door. Get some good bombs on that blue dark nut.
Yep.
He probably wants to see either another bomb pack or a clock. Antlerz doing the Duel of Fates with a Patra. Wins the Duel of Fates against the Patra and is rewarded with money. Antlerz down to 1 key here.
Oh, he used up all his bombs.
Dark used up all his bombs, but he does have a door here that he can go through, so he's not going to be blocked from the Triforce from this point. Antlerz may have a key issue very soon here, which would be a significant factor for Dark going in. We haven't seen any Dig Dogger, so I don't think there's going to be Dig Doggers in 9 based on the fact that it's all been patched so far. And we're now going to see the 2 different routes of 9. Darkfalz will whistle to 1.
Yeah, he'll snag some bombs on his way, probably.
I don't know. He might just YOLO 9 and just pray to get some bombs in there. He should know it's going to be Witchrobes, and we don't quite know what that dropper is in that set. So, the big thing is Antlerz will have the big exploration lead on 9, but if Dark takes that one key door that Antlerz didn't, and it's Zelda, then Dark will take the win. And Antlerz has spent his last key. It's very important. Antlerz now has no keys.
Yep, resources. Here we go.
Antlerz has found the silver arrows.
Loaded to bear. It just depends on if it's necessary or not at this point. Maybe Dark can get lucky and there won't be a required Ganon fight.
And you can see where Dark is just plowing through some of these rooms saying, okay, you know what? There's Witchrobes. I'm just going to ignore them. I can take this key door.
Yeah, if you're playing somebody like Antlerz, you're probably assuming, yeah, they've probably already been in 9. We gotta hustle. We gotta run.
Darkfalz making good work against this Patra. Gets it stuck in the small state. And he does have a potion. Oh, wait, nope, it's still expanding. He's going to potion here. That is a good choice on his part. Because the Patra will do 1 heart of damage to him, he would have died on the next hit. Antlerz takes a death deep in level 9.
That's always really rough. You're working your butt off, you're digging, you're doing everything you can, and then something snipes you.
And Darkfalz finds another key that he does not need. He's gonna keep going. Here's a key door. I don't recall if Antlerz has been through here or not.
I think if you're Dark, you're just gonna sprint north and hope that you can find Zelda in Zelda's room, and you get it right. We'll see what happens.
And I also feel like if you're Dark, you're gonna take every key door you can, because you may be gambling that your opponent did not get the any key, which in this case would be correct.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's certainly something to have in the back of your mind.
Good reverse clip from Darkfalz there. And Antlerz is out of bombs and out of keys. He has left level 9.
This is huge. This could get him back in the ring.
Antlerz is gonna go buy bombs here. We'll see if he decides to go for some keys. I think Dark is in the room with the silvers. He's gonna skip the stair.
I will say, like, this entire seed, I feel like Antlerz was getting into dungeons faster and having more time in them, and then Dark would come in, you know, a couple minutes later and then just blow through them, like, just real fast on the dungeons today.
I don't necessarily blame Dark for skipping stair rooms, especially rooms like this, because he might be just making the hard gamble that, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna gamble, gain is not required, I'll mark where the stair rooms are and come back if I need to.
Yep.
And a big bomb pack for Darkfalz. Not quite sure why he's clearing this room out. Okay, it looked like he was just trying to get out of the light.
Every now and again, it's hard to imagine what's going on in other folks' heads.
No, he looks like he's clearing it. Oh, that's right, remove most open stairs is on. This can actually be a stair room. I forgot about that. It's like actually going to provide him some protection. But he's got to be careful. Those blue wizards will kill him in 1 hit. Antlerz is in the same room.
Bunch of high fives going on.
Yeah, for all of the pontificating and gesturing we did, they're in the same room. I don't recall if Antlerz took a transport stair to get here, but he probably did, seeing as it is a stair room. That's a very curious key door to the right. Darkfalz is now in the central right portion of 9. Nobody has made it into that center of 9 yet.
I was just thinking the same thing. That could be important.
No big block so far in 9. That is a 50-50 chance of being shuffled. Antlerz has got to watch his rupee count now, too. As if he runs out of rupees... Oh, I wonder if Antlerz is thinking about what I think he's thinking about. He's probably not thinking about it.
What's that?
Trying to set up a Canada key in this room to open that door on the left.
Gotcha.
Darkfalz is once again out of bombs.
This is wild. This is awesome. Nobody has jack squat, and we're just running around. Let's do it.
Here is that locked door that Antlerz did not go through. And it's nothing.
That's too bad.
But again, as long as there are locked doors that Antlerz has not checked, Darkfalz can check those with no concerns. Dark does get a bomb pack. And Antlerz sets up the banana key. He's been in that room already. See, Dark. It's going to go up to this northeast corner of 9. And Dark will take it!
Holy crap.
With an official time of 59:33, the one key door that Antlerz opted not to check was the answer. The any key beat the difference maker.
That's a wow.
I'm just... So not having bombs in 8 ended up winning Darkfalz the seed. Think about that.
Yes.
Having bombs was the answer.
Not having bombs was the answer. Running out of stuff was the answer. This is amazing.
To answer the question in the chat, Zelda was in the far upper right corner of 9. Antlerz is going to see it now. I wonder if there's a bomb wall that you can take to get there. Or if it's you have to go through that key door.
Wow. Antlerz played really, really well here. And I feel bad for him, but Dark did a great job early on as well. He might have been a little bit behind getting into dungeons, but every dungeon he did an amazing job just going, you know what? I'm hustling. I'm blowing through it. The only time he really struggled was 8 and 5, the last two. And part of that struggle actually got him the any key, which won him the race.
And look at that. There was a bomb wall right next to her room. The any key secured Darkfalz the win, as Antlerz is going to finish with 101-16. Antlerz also now out of bombs as he finishes the game. He used his last bomb to get into the room.
And it looks like we have Darkfalz in the room with us, and Antlerz just joined too. So GG, guys.
No, thank you. GG, Antlerz, man. Well played.
I appreciate it.
So the difference maker in this seed. Darkfalz, you did not have bombs going into 8 when you were one room above the Triforce. If you had bombs and bomb down, you would have skipped the any key, and by skipping the any key, you might not have had the keys to go north in the room that led you to Zelda.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I cleared that room because there was only 5 dark nuts, and I only had 2 keys. I knew I was going to 9. I wanted more keys. I figured if I saw the any key on the way down there, I might as well pick it up. And
yeah, running out of bombs got you the any key, which got you the princess. So that was pretty amazing to watch. Antlerz, you did a fantastic job early on of just hitting dungeons, and you were about 2 to 3 minutes ahead of Dark for most of the race in terms of getting into dungeons, and Dark would somehow come back and kind of catch up a little bit, have fewer rooms until the end when 8 and 5 happened, and then you built out a lead. It was just unfortunate that you ran out of keys in 9. You did a great race, though.
Yeah, I was happy with how I played, except for obviously level 6 and 9. So I didn't bomb the right walls in 9. That's all it comes down to. I didn't take the right key doors in 9 either. So if I would have bombed the right walls or taken the right key doors, I would have found the open Zelda. But I took I bombed like all of the walls and took all of the key doors except the ones I needed to, unfortunately.
Which, let's be real, that 6 was a hot pile of garbage.
I'm shocked I got through that 6 without taking a death.
I took like 5 deaths. So yeah, you definitely earned that win. So
I had 2 deaths overall. Thankfully, I didn't die in 6. I almost did. I got very close to, and then squeaked by at the.
yeah, I was probably trying to take it a little too fast, but yeah, I took like 5 deaths in 6. So you gained a lot of time on me in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, 6 was one where he gained a lot. I feel like I think it was 4. He also had about half the rooms. He hit it pretty quick. So you guys were both a lot of fun to watch though, and 9 did 9 things tonight. And but either way, just appreciate getting to watch you guys run. And GG to you both.
My 4 was basically, I guess, the same as my 9. I ran out of bombs, so I couldn't go south anymore. And there's one key door behind me, so I turned around, went back, and hit it. And thankfully, Triforce is right next to it.
Yeah, this was a very weird case where running out of bombs was a good thing. I will never say those words again.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I thought about clearing that Dark Nut room in level 8. I decided to chance it and just leave the Iniki behind. I mean, because for all I knew, that could have been the book, which would have been useless to me at that point. So I knew where the. I mean, I went one room down and then I found where the Triforce was. So at that point, I wasn't going back for it. But you know, or it could have been one of the 2 corridor staircases. There was only a 1 in 4 shot that room, less than a 1 in 4 shot, because it could have been nothing too. So
Speaking of the book, how did you guys feel about here's your absolutely terrible 6 that's gonna have a wand so that you can go spend 200 rupees on a book?
Yeah, I bought a blue ring, and yeah, I'll take the defense over that. So I'm not going to take out that 6.
yeah, it was never. I only found one of the big secrets, so it was never really on the table for me.
Yeah, I believe that Dark encountered a couple of the big ones.
Which was also a problem for me, because if I had found another big secret, the next key door that I was gonna do in 9, if I had the keys for it, was that that one on the right, which apparently leads you which apparently was a path that I didn't know. So.
You're exactly right. That's exactly what it was. It directed you straight into Zelda.
Yeah, so I had to leave 9 to buy bombs, and I didn't want to dig the overworld for money or like try and play the money making game to go buy a key. So I was just like praying that I could bomb my way to Zelda, which I could, but I just went the wrong way. After I went back, I was thinking the path would be through the left to get to the middle, but obviously it wasn't. How many rooms did you have in 9 before you found Zelda?
Maybe 15 and 20.
Oh wow, yeah. I did a lot more.
Yeah, I think you were in 9 about 7, 8 minutes ahead, and Dark having the any key, he did not mess around. He was just running and opening up every door and not really thinking twice about it. And so it definitely helped him out when he was just running.
Oh yeah, no, I don't doubt it. That's and this was a particularly key door heavy 9 too. Like normally 9 is not that heavy with the key doors. I mean, most of the open doors must have been the middle once you find your way there, because like I opened up probably I found like 2 or 3 keys in 9. I still ran out because I entered with 2.
There was a middle portion of 9.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if there was, I didn't see it.
So for anybody watching, do you guys know when you're gonna play game 2?
We haven't talked about it yet.
Gotcha. Do you have any idea what the remorse flags are gonna be?
I'll have to take a closer look. at the flags and see. It's right now, like, I'm leaning toward. I don't know if it's. I was getting conflicting reports on whether it was possible by the rules to set 0 HP enemies to not or to off or not, but if,
Yeah, you can do that. You can set a specific amount.
okay, yeah. So I would turn like my remorse flag, if that's the case, will be to turn 0 HP enemies off.
So you just gotta pick 0, well, normal, 2, or 4.
I don't know, just not 0. Like, isn't 0 HP enemies a flag by itself?
No.
Not anymore.
Oh, well then, what makes them all roll to 0?
There's a 0 HP option in the drop down.
Oh, so yeah, that's what I want off.
All right, so yeah, you just gotta pick if you want normal HP 2 plus or minus 2 or plus or minus 4, and then that's
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool.